Let me just get comfortable here.
Look at this. Look, I get sad.
So, okay.
That's
What is it? What is it?
A poop.
That's how we start off our shows. And I think we should all have a show real quick.
That's like a. That's like.
Bula.
Bula.
It's like a poop. Bula.
I ate the poop. I ate a poop.
I love that you did that. So, we have a very, very special. Ew, he swallowed it.
It was gone.
We have a very special episode this evening.
You're great on camera, Mom.
We have a young boy here. Okay, let me talk about the topic.
Yeah.
The topic is ghosts.
My poopy.
Yep.
My poopy there.
So
That's ghost poop.
you may be wondering, why do we have a boy here when we're talking about ghosts? Why is there a young boy? It's because if you know anything about ghosts, they're attracted to children. So it would be awesome in the episode.
If they're attracted to
Exactly
them.
what
Yeah.
I think-
he had poop out in my cup.
Right.
And
A poo.
a poop.
They're attracted to
I don't
children.
think they're attracted to them. I think that the children just are so young that they're closer to.
I
don't know, they're less-
They're more
life or
susceptible.
something. They're more likely
They're
to see
clo-
dead
I'll
people.
show you.
She's trying to say that kids are closer to death than adults. Is what you're trying to say.
Look at it.
I know, that's a poo. That's a poo.
I'll eat it. I'll eat
Eat
it.
that poo. So he's
Ate it.
we're gonna talk about ghosts for real though.
I got it.
Not aliens.
Another poop.
We're gonna talk about ghosts. So I don't really believe that ghosts are real. We have Kyle here. Can I use your real name? Kyle? I'm not gonna say your full name. I'm just gonna say Kyle. No, he's okay. He can do this the entire time.
I'll show you.
Let me see. Sorry if this episode's a little longer than the
I
others.
did poo.
I see.
You know,
That's a
you
white
started
poo.
this
That's a white poo.
months ago.
Yeah.
So as I was saying,
I ate the
Ghost.
white poo.
I don't really believe in
No,
ghosts.
That's enough.
No, just let him go. Just let him go the whole time. So I don't really believe in ghosts. These two, Kyle and Heather, as you know, as she is the
On every episode.
she's the owner of the bar. So we have to do this in order for me to do this, continue to do this show. I have to have her. And Kyle is a patron who has a history with ghosts. And we have the child here that's most likely experienced dog ghosts. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
The kid. So, and this is for real. I know it sounds like
Dead dogs.
I'm joking, but he sees dead dogs.
I got
So now,
Just one dead dog. I'm sorry.
I got green one.
so now we're gonna have.
I got green poo.
Okay, that's enough of the poop.
Got green poo.
That's disgusting.
That's enough poop.
I ate it.
That's great.
Where's your
So now we're gonna have Kyle basically tell us. That's all. I'm gonna go right into it. So you both believe in ghosts. You believe in them, right?
Yes.
You believe in
I
ghosts.
think so.
Come on. The kid, do you believe in ghosts? Excuse me.
He doesn't understand what happened to the dog.
So he doesn't understand. That's why. Okay. So I'm gonna have Kyle tell us just his experience with ghosts.
Malcolm, that's enough. Like Kyle talk.
Look at that. I gotta do a poo out.
It's a poo. I know.
It's a poo. I'll eat the poo. I'll eat the poo.
So just have at it. Just tell me why. Just tell me why. Just tell me where. Why did you used to work in a place that might have ghosts? Like for example, they like to hang out at houses and stuff like that.
It's possible. I worked at a hospital, but I never had experiences there.
Okay, so just have at it. Tell us your experience.
So my experience was at the same house that my dad's friend grew up in, and they had experiences through his youth and when he was a young lad growing up. They would have doll collections that would be moved around and rearranged.
Dolls?
Yes. There would be like clouds or puffs of smoke, but nobody smoked in the house. There would be smells of different colognes and perfumes that nobody had. The one experience that my dad had directly was when they were going down into the basement. Now this house was a 2-section but still connected house that was repurposed because it used to be a funeral parlor.
So there you go.
So you had the
Used to be a funeral
workshop.
parlor.
So you had the workshop and where they would do the viewings and stuff, and the basement is where you had the furnace to make ashes. And when my dad was going down into the basement with his friend when he was little, he felt a cold hand grab his shoulder, but no one was there. So he hightailed it out of there.
And what state is this? So is it cold?
This is Haddonfield, New Jersey.
So it's cold. Summer, winter?
I don't know when he had his experience. My experience was on Old Hallows Eve when we were trick-or-treating because they had giant candy bars in that neighborhood. And after we went to that house, we were passing by it, and in one of the windows on the second floor in the hallway that connects the two buildings, there was a white, shadowy kind of figure.
And there's no
immediately-
way it was a Halloween decoration.
No,
How do you know that?
because it disappeared.
Like right before your eyes.
And this was, this was about 20-something years ago, so the technology was not there.
To have holograms.
Right.
So you saw this thing.
And immediately got goosebumps.
And that's that.
Like blood ran cold and everything. It was one of the most one-of-a-kind feelings I've ever
And is
had.
that the only time you ever saw a ghost?
Possibly. The only other time I might have seen something was going down Clinton Road, also in New Jersey, West Milford, New Jersey. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted roads in America. And it's basically 9.5 miles of unlit road if you go at night.
But why is it haunted? Because it's dark?
There was a lot of cults and sacrifices that took place, like off of the road. So a lot of rumors and stuff started from that. There was also apparently an old circus with animals that got out and
Mauled people.
Right, they
people.
had to kill the animals too. Apparently,
So are there animal ghosts? The kid sees dog ghosts.
I think a wolf ghost was one of the more popular ones.
Okay. So now you truly believe you saw a ghost?
Yes.
No Halloween?
No.
Nothing? So now what do you think it actually was? Like, what is a ghost?
I think it's just someone's spirit that hasn't found their way, if anything.
So it's just wandering around? Like, is that what I have to look forward to?
Or they're too attached to
house?
something they had, right? Maybe
Because I think
that's possible too.
Don't you think that if I die, I'm gonna be attached to, no one wants to leave, right? So wouldn't everybody be ghosts? Wouldn't there be ghosts everywhere?
You never know until you know.
So you think that a ghost is a person that is stuck in this realm?
Right.
So there may be another realm that they would go to.
Right.
Okay. So Heather, now please
Malcolm.
tell me your ghost story.
So I used to work in a building, a hospital, and a mega church. Yeah. We would see weird things. Doors would open, weird stuff on the cameras, like silhouettes and things like that. Things would float.
That's
and
it?
And there was a weird smell.
I'll take another one of
I'm
these.
sorry
drinks.
that Jack dumped your food all over the bar.
Anyone would like Kava because we were about to drink a Shell. We're at Shell's Kava Bar. Water Hills relaxation destination.
Wait, so you think that there are ghosts because you saw shadows in the mega church? Like he at least saw a ghost. So you don't believe in ghosts, really?
Are you hungry like the wolf?
We have to
Malcolm?
split up.
No, you're good.
When we decorate for holidays, it gets weird. Someone said they saw a figure, and then there was a day when I was working when I got a really weird kind of vibe. A guy said he saw something.
So I haven't really had any of my friends have any direct experiences.
And neither have I. Have you
It's as if he reversed.
ever seen in your house a ghost dog? Now I'm going to try and extract the answers from his brain. Have you ever seen an apparition of a ghost dog in your home? Have you seen a dog skeleton walking around your home? All right, so I'm asking people about ghosts,
Right.
And so far I'm not really impressed with their accounts,
Right.
and you sounded like you had a more scientific approach,
Right.
And you know this not because you're a scientist,
Right.
Right.
Not a scientist.
but you research this stuff.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think it's genuinely interesting.
All right, so tell me, what are ghosts?
Well, that is yet to be explained. I think that there's something happening in the brain that makes people perceive something that could be considered a ghost. But I think it could be due to, like I said, geomagnetic anomalies with wherever they are on Earth. There are places that are considered geomagnetic stress zones. So that could potentially explain it. That could be why this particular area, why they feel this way. You can have experiences. Also, about 2% of the population at any moment can have a spontaneous DMT release. A spontaneous DMT
Right, because
release.
DMT is in you. It's a hallucinogen.
It's natural, very strong, and the people that see ghosts or see Jesus or all these types of things, there could be experiencing an altered state of consciousness.
Right.
And that would help explain a lot of what's going on there. Ghosts is just one way to describe something that may be something that other people understand as just an altered state.
Like I just tripped out for a second there.
Right. Right.
But I'm back. And where someone else who might be like, yeah, that just happened. It's probably a DMT release or the electromagnetic.
I mean, what is it possible by that same rationale that someone could also not have the DMT release and not see these things?
You're saying that
Which
they.
me as well.
Because I haven't seen shit.
Well, wait a minute. You're talking about, is it possible to see ghosts without the DMT?
Well, you're saying that some people have, a natural release that triggers them to see things sometimes that others may not be able to see.
Well, that would only explain a potential amount of the population that experiences ghosts. I'm only going after, I don't know.
Right, okay, yeah, okay.
Just some of them. That would explain, because, one person that experiences an altered state of consciousness sees some entities, they might say, those are ghosts, or that may make some sense. But it could also just be people that are in a geomagnetic stress zone that may have nothing to do with DMT whatsoever, that also experience something that could be potentially similar. It's an altered state. Either way, it's an altered state. I believe that people that experience ghosts, they're not necessarily experiencing something in our measurable three-dimensional reality necessarily. They're perceiving something outside the measurable. And that would just basically be just our brain, whether it's literally machinations of the mind or whether it's just you're actually tuned into a different channel of reality.
So
which is still yet to be discovered.
To me, there's also a large power of suggestion at play here. Because, for instance, at this location, this wonderful establishment, certain people have claimed that they've seen things. Now, I have never seen things. I've never seen things happen unexpectedly here. But now, every time I close up the place and I say goodnight to Shells, which I do every single night, I say goodnight, Shells, love you, we'll do this all again tomorrow.
Right.
I do kind of run a little bit faster to get out the door because, I don't know, it's freaking me out that someone said there was, but I don't think there is. So I think there's a power of suggestion at play as well.
Isn't it nice to feel like you're not alone?
Do I feel like I'm alone on this island.
Well, what I would say to that is the very famous, experiment when you go to a mirror in the darkness.
Correct.
So what is that? Tell me that. I don't know what that is.
Well, that could also be a similar situation going on. A lot of times people will see an aspect of maybe even themselves, or they'll see ghosts. They look in the mirror in a dark room and they just faintly their mind perceives something, and they can freak themselves out because they very well can see something. It's like a distorted image of yourself. But
yeah, you're looking at yourself. I would be like, oh, I can faintly see, because if there's the tiniest bit of light, I can see something in darkness, right?
Right.
If I go in the bathroom right now,
right,
shut off the lights,
right.
I'll see myself.
Well, right, but your brain will perceive it and it will actually add something to it. You actually may be experiencing something. You might see something that doesn't even make sense, that you're not even understanding, that your mind is like interpreting as what it's seeing. Like it's a mind fuck.
So it's like a trick of the mind.
Yeah, it's a trick of the mind. That's not
light really messes with you. Can I get another one of these delicious? Light really messes with you.
Yeah, so there you go.
So you don't believe in ghosts?
Whoa!
Stones, please.
I would.
Sands with a boner.
I don't know if I like. I don't know if I like the term ghosts. What I would say is that there might be entities that we do see in altered states. They very well might be real.
Because we're crossing over into another realm.
Maybe so.
But when people say ghosts, if we're arguing about definitions, you
Wouldn't
know,
ghosts be in our realm if we're seeing them?
Yeah,
No,
no,
but
but I'm talking about only
it's a
visible
past
in
loved
an altered
one.
state. Only visible in an altered state. If that's the case, they're within our reality.
aliens, ghosts.
Sure, that's the thing.
Chupacabra.
Well, yeah, less so for the chupacabra because
Okay.
that thing's supposed to be in our physical reality.
So yeah, so it's not a paranormal.
Monsters, that'd be a good show. Cryptozoology.
Chupacabras.
The chupacabra.
Just chupacabra.
It,
know.
it would be more of like an altered state thing. And you want to talk about ghosts, you might as well talk about aliens, you might as well talk about altered, like other realms.
What, has anyone ever been like, oh my god, I saw this ghost and it was really an alien?
I don't know. I personally haven't.
That's a good question.
Like imagine a movie where we're thinking we're seeing ghosts this whole time. You think it's a ghost movie. At the end, it's like twist. Turns out it's aliens.
Well, I don't know if Kyle told us a story. I don't know if he said the same story to you, where they were out camping somewhere in New Jersey because something terrible.
Can I
always
have some more
happens
ice,
in New Jersey.
please?
Well,
New Jersey is
they saw
is-
two lights that looked like they were out in the distance coming off the road, except the road wasn't over there, and they floated up into the air. And I said, well, maybe you didn't see ghosts, maybe you saw aliens.
My wife showed me a
interesting.
UFO video that she took, and it was the stupidest
UFO?
thing. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. She's like, look at this. She really thought it was a UFO. It was like a fly flying around the lens.
Oh, all right. Yeah, but that doesn't discount what we've seen. I mean, there's a lot of good footage out there. The Phoenix Lights is one of the most, popular, well-known.
It just looked like some lights, though.
I believe more.
No,
in that
no,
than I
there's
do in
something very
ghosts.
big with the UFO. Yeah.
Aliens? Well, because there has to be aliens, right?
No.
There doesn't have to be
Doesn't
ghosts.
have to
Why? There has to be
Well,
aliens.
wait a minute.
Everything is so big that there would have to be a planet that has similar
Have we-
stuff.
Yeah, but have we proven that?
I don't think we've proven it,
No.
but there has to be aliens. There doesn't have to be
I
ghosts.
really hope you're right, but we haven't proven.
Right, because aliens exist because we exist, and if we exist, there has to be aliens.
It's not a logic. I don't think that's logical.
But ghosts, what is it?
Could be like, look, I'll put
you
it this way.
die and you wander around a hospital.
All right, look, you talk to enough people that have done DMT, which I'm sure you have. You talk to people who have done like all the, psilocybin, salvia, and
that's-
all these things. They talk about meeting.
But now we're talking about drugs, though. Like,
Right. I could see all kinds of ghosts on drugs.
Right, yeah, that's my point. Is that a spontaneous DMT release can occur out of like 2% of people, and if they're in a scary area, they can suscept themselves to these kind of situations. The point is that they see gestures, they see the grays, the alien grays. That's in a lot of altered states. You also see the machine elves. You got all these different types of entities. Even the mantids, and man, there's a ton of them out there. There's like a whole. It's like a never-ending group of,
Well, my mind's blown.
yeah. But if you're talking about ghosts, you got to bring in the aliens and you got to bring in all the other stuff, because